What's up, everybody? John Eric Poli here again with My MMA News, and I'm excited to talk to today's guest because so much of the sport we're talking about people that have won fights, and for me, you really see somebody's true character when they're coming off of a loss. And I can tell you right now that today's guest has been a class act since losing his first fight at a few Bellator events recently. Of course, talking to Patchy Mix. He lost the Bellator Bantamweight Championship fight to Juan Archuleta. And like I said, he's been a class act ever since that loss. Patchy, how you doing, my man? How is things going out there in Buffalo, New York?
It's going good, man. I'm doing well. It's been about a month, maybe 5, 6 weeks since the fight. So, just been hanging out with my family, enjoying my time home.
Yeah, man, I hear you. And, I want to, I guess, just dive right into that fight that the two of us both recently brought up here, that Juan Archuleta fight. Patchy, what did you take away from that experience, being in your first world title fight? And, great effort, too. You were literally one round away from claiming a Bellator title there because you won the first 2 rounds of that fight. So what did you take away from that experience?
I think the main thing is the experience factor in the fight itself. I've really never gone past the third round and had or people really don't make it to the third round with me either. You know what I mean? So I very rarely fought even a total of 15 minutes. So going up and going for 25 minutes, the extra fourth and fifth, the championship round, I feel like that experience is what I needed. And now that I have that, I'm going to learn to grow. I'm going to only grow from it.
Yeah, do you think that, what's interesting with Bellator is that only title fights are 5-minute rounds. It's not like the UFC where if you're in the main event, you get a 5-minute fight. Do you feel that Bellator maybe should look into doing that if you're ever in a main event slot, even if it's not for a title fight, that you should fight for a full 25 minutes to kind of help with this type of experience?
When you put it like that, I never actually thought about it, but I wouldn't be opposed to that idea. I think it's a great idea, what you had said. Just to maybe get more experience and having, opportunities to go 5 rounds. There's nothing like it when you're in live time as opposed to in the gym. I do 5 rounds in the gym all the time, but, when it's all on the line, it's hard for me to manage it was hard for me in that specific fight to manage my factors, because my gas tank, should I say, my efficiency with my energy, because I'm always going for the finish.
Yeah, I understand that completely, and maybe I'll ask Scott Coker about that. Maybe on one of these next Bellator fights in the upcoming weeks here, if he's on one of the post-fight interviews, I'll ask that question to him. But Patchy, one of the things that really stood out to me, like I was saying before, is just the way you've been treating this whole entire thing. And the one thing that you did, which I haven't seen anybody else in Bellator do yet, is you went and spoke to the media afterwards. Even though you lost that fight, you had no problem going right there as soon as the fight was over and talking to everybody. Why did you decide to do that in those moments after your loss?
To be honest with you, I've always done it after all my wins, so I didn't even know if there was an option. I guess there was. They offered me. They said, "Do you want to?" And I said, "Hell yeah!" I don't hang my head in my performance. I think I just hang my head in the way I use my energy. You know what I mean? Just was efficient in my my gas, should I say? That's really it. So I don't really hang my head too much. There's a lot that I need to learn, and just as my wins, I try to just get better each time. So I don't really feel like just this loss just defines me, fully. So I wanted to speak to the media just as if I had won the fight, to talk about my mindset throughout the fight, my camp, just talk about everything, you know what I mean? So there was no excuses,
Yeah, man, I totally get that. And one last thing, fight related to this Juan Archuleta fight, and then we can move on to some other things here. I know you obviously have some plans for the future here, and we're going to get into that in a second, but I just want to know, long-term wise, do you ever want a rematch against Juan Archuleta, given that this was your first defeat, your first ever title fight going 5 rounds? Do you ever see yourselves running this one back in the future?
Hell yeah, you're damn right, man. I'm coming back with everything I got to get that one back. I was on a 24-fight winning streak, had finished everybody in multiple, few years straight, and I went in there, I got to my positions early. I feel like I could have had him in trouble. I could have, walked out of there and, I could have walked out of there the world champion in the first round, you know what I mean? Looking at me attacking submissions, if 2 inches to the left, or 2 inches to the right, should I say. In different sports wise, but I'm 100%, I was respectful to him before the fight. I'm respectful to him after the fight. Although, I felt like I could go out there and finish him, which, great job to him. But I'm 100% coming back for him. I'm 100% coming back for his name and the belt. Whether he has it or not, I gotta write that one differently next time. So I'm in this division, and I'm trying to build my way up and restart my path, man. I don't think I'm far off because I was only one round off. So it's got to be written different. It doesn't sound right, to me.
Well, if you guys do run that one back in the future, I will make sure that I'm watching it. I'm looking forward to, maybe seeing that again down the lines. But now, look, short term here. You've recently made a call out on your Instagram, on your social media accounts there, against James Gallagher, a guy that's obviously well known in Bellator. Why did you do that call out with James Gallagher?
Well, I'm a former title contender now. I just had the most recent guy had a fight for that belt. And he won the fight and started calling that he needs the title shot and he needs the belt. It's just ludicrous, man. That shit's ridiculous, He's beaten nobody of merit. The guy, he's absolute trash, I think that, his wins are, he has no quality wins is what I'm saying. His resume is trash is what I should say. And it's like he's trying to talk his way into the belt. I figure, why not?
Yeah, so obviously he has...
I know... Pardon?
Well, I was just saying, I apologize. I think you may have cut out there for a second. If you did, I apologize. Let you finish there. But what I was just going to say was, based on what you're saying, do you feel that he's using his position as somebody that has some star power in Bellator, that's so good on the mic, to try to jump a few steps, that you feel that he should have to earn his way towards a title fight, just like you have to do and like so many others have to do?
Yeah, we all trying to earn that, that right to fight for the title, of course. But, I don't know if he's really good on the mic either. I just think it's like the affiliation to SBG, his gym, his look, because he's with, he's training with McGregor and that team where they get all these shitty fights and shit, they get all the journeyman guys, He's a journeyman killer, man, he hasn't fought nobody, and he just talks a bunch of shit, but I don't even think he's good at that. You know what I mean? I think it's just the team he's affiliated with. He's done absolutely nothing of merit. So he's calling for a title shot, and I don't think they're giving him that. Sergio Pettis is up next. That's what I've anticipated and heard. So, why not fight the guy that just fought for the title, if that's what he's trying to get to. And I don't mind, I feel like me and him fighting, I want some money. I want some easy money too, because I think I'll put that kid in the mat in the first round. I don't think he even makes it out. He don't make it 5 minutes with me.
Well, one of the interesting things with James Gallagher is that because he's, has that star power over in Europe, especially, that Bellator loves to have him headlining cards over in Europe, usually over in Ireland or England, that area over there. Would you be interested in maybe taking a trip over to Ireland or a trip over to England and fighting him over on his own soil there?
Man, I just went to Japan, which was a 16-hour flight or something. I made a kilogram weight, which was like 134. I think I made the fight. One of Japan's best, and he was like, he's one of their best submission artists. Let's say in Japan, in a different promotion in a ring as opposed to a cage. I don't, and then cut off. I don't mind going. I'll go anywhere in the world to fight that kid. They wanted me to go down to Ireland to go stomp that kid out. I feel like, I put him in the mat. So it don't matter where it is, I don't, I'm saying I need to fight the Mohegan Sun because it's 5 hours from my house. So they can send me to Ireland. They can send me to, where'd they just fight the last Bellator show? Lalonde? Where was it?
Patch, you're starting to break up a little bit.
I'm not sure. I said, can you still hear me all right?
I can hear you again now, yeah.
I said, where was the last Bellator fight? I think it was in...
the very last one that is how Chris Cyborg, that was Mohegan Sun, Connecticut, but right before that, I believe, was Paris. Was Paris the last one? There was a Paris card in there.
Yeah, so I think James Gallagher was on one of those shows. I'm saying I'd have bought him there. I basically fight the kid anywhere in the world, man. It does not matter to me. I feel like I'm better than him, so, recently I asked. That's why I had asked him. I just sent him a message on Instagram and I told him when are you gonna stop running? When are you gonna stop running, pussy? Because he keeps he's not fighting nobody and he runs his mouth. So
Did he respond to your Instagram message?
yeah, he said he's running. He said he's running straight through me or the division. Just a bunch of nonsense, man. Guy's shot. You don't, he's not on my level, so it really don't matter. But yeah, man, so I asked him that, and then he had messaged me back or something, and then I basically put it on the internet. You know what I mean? Because I'm not about all that shit talking to begin with. So we could just fight, and I figured if I put it to the just like I'm doing it to the media now, he can stop fighting all these journeymen, fight them real guys. Their whole team does that shit though. It's crazy.
If you guys were to fight, how do you see the fight going down?
You know me, it's Patchy McStyle, man. First round rear naked choke. I take that kid's back quicker than freaking, I take that kid's back quick as hell. And I rear naked choke him. He don't have much game. I think his grappling's novice. I think his takedown's like modified level, so I don't really see too much of a threat with that guy except, but it'd be one show, man. I'm all about the show too. Like my last fight, I'm in there talking. I'm in there, I'm not just, all these guys label me as a ground fighter and I can't fight. And my biggest, it was almost my detriment last fight because I didn't go back to the takedown. But my biggest thing is I just like to fight, man. I like to get in there. I like to hit. I like to get it. And, who's the top brand that I submitted so many people.
Well, you have me sold over here. If I was a matchmaker, I would definitely like to see that fight. I think it's exciting. It'd be good for the fans, too, as well. And, Patchy, I want to just move on a little bit here off of that subject to something else that's been highly publicized by Scott Coker recently, which is that he's been saying that he thinks that Bellator has the best 135-pound division in the whole entire sport of mixed martial arts. Obviously, we know the UFC has a great bantamweight division. Just what are your thoughts on his statements that you guys have the best bantamweight division in the sport?
I mean, it's, I'm not here to compare the divisions or not, but I'm here to say what I believe Bellator is just, I'm not here to talk about the UFC's division, but I'm just here to say how I feel about Bellator's. And if you look at I think there's like 16 to 25 guys, but I mean, there's some straight killers in the division, you know what I mean? Top to bottom, So it competes with any division in the world. I feel like it's one of the best divisions in the whole Bellator. How deep it is in Bellator, you know what I mean? Throughout all their divisions from pound for pound, But I feel like if Scott Coker, if that's what he said, because, I could believe him too. Maybe throw $1 million tournament towards us. I could use $1 million, man. And, I think that if he really believes that, then maybe we could have like a bantamweight Grand Prix tournament of 8 to 16 guys for the $1 million, and, to get that belt back, that there would be no better way to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with all of that. I wanted to ask you, do you think a Grand Prix is maybe in the future of that division, given how deep it is with guys like yourself, Juan Archuleta, of course, Sergio Pettis, Ricky Bandejas, Brett Johns just signed, a lot of, like you said, deep guys.
You got Guaito Perez, Josh Hill just beat him. You got Rufian Stocks. You got Magomed, he's got a win over Peter Yan. He just signed. You got Skogans, one of the Skogans brothers. He just signed. I mean, it's deep. Then you got guys like Cass Bell who've been there for a while. You can make a tournament, man, If you look through and through the whole division. I feel like Grand Prix, I feel like how they're signing guys, there definitely could be a Grand Prix in the future because there's so many rapid signings, let's say, in the last 18 months since I've been signed with the promotion.
Well, that's another thing I would look forward to seeing. I really like that Scott Coker does that too, that he has the Grand Prix. I think it's different. It's fun, definitely a lot of fun, and I enjoy watching all those brackets play out. I think it's really an interesting thing in the sport that Scott's come up with there, and if that's what's next, then great, I'm all on board with that. But Patchy, let's just say hypothetically, if maybe the Grand Prix gets put on hold for a little bit there with that division if they decide to have one. It might make, maybe take place down the road. Let's just say it stays the way how it is right now. What's the road back to a title fight look like for you?
The road back, man, I don't think I'm far off. Like we said, one round, man, just energy efficiency is the main thing. And getting better, man, getting better every single day, being a student and respectful of the martial arts that I'm learning, man, respectful of, my partners, my training methods, my life outside of the cage, all that, man. And, I think a few fights, man, maybe 2 fights I'm looking to get, and try to get back. But a big win over Gallagher and a big win over, one of these guys, man, really, I don't know who it'll be, but, there's, like we said, there's killers across the division. So, I think like 2 fights, I could get back there, 2 performances, 2 finishes, you know what I mean?
I got you, man. And then one other thing too before we head out that I need to ask you about. Last week, I believe it was, I spoke with Aaron Pico, and he was raving about Jackson Wink and just how great that gym is, about how great the sparring partners are down there, just the whole entire team atmosphere in Albuquerque, New Mexico. There, I know you train there at Jackson Wink as well. If you just maybe talk a little bit about your thoughts on Jackson Wink as a gym and all of the training partners down there that you have.
Oh yeah, it's great, man. I train with a lot of good guys, and that's a testament to the hard work that everyone puts in. To have a lot of great guys just in one facility, of course. It's great. And then I have my coaches as well. I work a lot with Six Gun Gibson. I mean, he's like a mastermind on the pads and just a striking coach. He really did teach me a lot of stuff before my last fight here. Him and Coach Wing, they both taught me a lot of techniques I feel like I was able to use in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always on the ground. So, and then, Harry St. Ledger, he's my jiu-jitsu guy, and he's just great. And then to train with Pico, you know what I mean, and have those type of partners and stuff, it makes for, it brings a level up in the room, to have a bunch of great guys, Diego Brandao, and a bunch of hungry young guys too, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, that's been a great addition to my training, you know what I mean? So when I started, I think I came there at like 4 or 5-0. And then I've been building, you know what I mean, since then, adding new things and getting new techniques, should I say. It's been hard because I don't live out there permanently, but I go out there for my camps,
All right, Patchy, I really appreciate the time here today. I know you're on your way back there. You just got done with training out there and everything else out in Buffalo at the moment. Before you run, though, before you get out of here, I just want to give you the opportunity. If you want to plug your social media, management, sponsors, anything along those lines, or anything else that you even want to talk about that we can get to touch on, please feel free to do so at this time, man. The floor is yours.
Basically, just Patchy Mix, Team Mix MMA on Twitter, Patchy Mix on Instagram, Facebook. Just big shout out, big thank you to, my coaches, my training partners, my sponsors, and my management, Dominance MMA, man, Ali Abdelaziz, man, he's the best in the game. So, big shout out to him. Big shout out to Scott Coker, Bellator, and all them guys. Basically just James Gallagher sucks.
All right, well, there you have it. Patchy wants that fight with James Gallagher. Hopefully we'll be seeing that in the future. That's a great fight, an epic fight, and, Bellator books it. I'm definitely there to watch that one. That sounds highly entertaining. Patchy, thanks for the time, man. Appreciate it. And just a reminder for all you guys out there, I appreciate your time. Remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see more interviews just like this. And, of course, keep going to MyMMANews. A lot of great content coming out there on a daily basis. Make sure you're checking that out as well. We'll see you later, everybody.